Is it too early to start Christmas builds? I don't think so. For my first project, I went over to the lathe and did a beginner project. Now it's been a while since I've used the lathe, so probably nice to just start off with something simple and easy. And I created this cute little snowman. Now I did something a little different this time, and I used a template just to make sure that I was getting everything marked and set up the way that I wanted it. So I'm going to walk you through it and just show you what I did, and hopefully you can start your Christmas builds as well. To start this project, I found a scrap piece of wood that was 1 3/4 inches by 1.5 inches and 10 inches long. And then I just rounded it out to 1.5 inches. Now, of course, you can make yours any size or any dimension that you want, just to give your snowman a little different shape, or in case you want something smaller for your tree. So for this project, I looked at a lot of snowmen, kind of got the idea of the shape and the placement that I wanted, and then I created this template on a piece of wood. And as you can see, I have marked out the inches of how far apart I want everything to be, and I've left room at the top and the bottom. You can obviously leave more, and this is just an area for the wood to be gripped by the lathe and held at the other side. Once my template was created, I went over and I just marked the piece of wood exactly where it was on the template. And this just gave me a nice, easy starting point, knowing exactly where I wanted everything to be on that piece of wood. Then as I started carving and working in there, I could kind of see how everything was laid out and know exactly how to round things and curve things. This will also be nice if I want to repeat this at any point in time, because I have a template that I used for the last one, and I can modify it slightly, or I could use the exact same one. I don't have a whole lot of lathe tools here, so I'm just using what I have available. I'm sure you might have different ones, things that would work a little bit better or just differently and give your snowman a little different shape. I don't know about you, but I find lathe work very relaxing, and it's pretty cool that you can spend just a short amount of time in a day and create something that's just completely different out of a scrap piece of wood. I always enjoy making things around the holidays that you can give as gifts or you can just put up as decor. A lot of times we get invited to parties, and it's just something nice to give as a hostess gift. As with all my projects, I work through the sanding grits. Now it's kind of nice on the lathe because the lathe does all the work for you. You just have to hold the sanding pads in place. And I really like these small sanding pads. I purchased them on Amazon, and I'll make sure to link them below. They work really well, and I have a tool that actually holds them, so I'm not actually putting my hand right next to the piece of wood. Now there are so many different finish options for a lathe project, so just pick your favorite and polish up your project. It'll just give it that shiny coat that really finishes off any project. Now for me, I like to use the bandsaw just to cut off the excess wood. A lot of people will use the lathe to do this. That's still not one of my fortes, and I'm afraid that I would end up just throwing my piece of wood. Then I just sand it up and put on the finishing coat. Now you can also put in a hook at the top if you want this to be an ornament. Happy holidays!